Yes, we're back again. Welcome to another episode of KnightChat First on Air, your go-to podcast for everything First Robotics related and more. I'm your host, Chandra, and today's topic is school robotics relationships. Some things on Team 195 work a little differently than other teams in terms of our school relationships. First of all, instead of working in a classroom or working in the school itself, we have a shop generously provided by one of our sponsors. Also, like mentioned in episode 1, a lot of our mentors are parents of alumni, with only 2 of our mentors being teachers. So how do we, Team 195, strengthen the relationship between our school and the team? This is definitely a better question for the guest of today's episode, one of the teachers on our team, Diana Drechsler. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Diana Drechsler, and I am a paraprofessional actually at Southington High School. I've been there for 15 years, and with robotics this is going on my 11th year. Well, it is my 11th year.
Let's get started right away. So how about we start off with you explaining your experience of being a paraprofessional, you said, on the robotics team?
I don't think it's much different than being just a regular parent on the robotics team. I got involved first as a parent, even though I was already in the school system. I think it does help blend because we, as Chandra has said, we are unique compared to most other teams where we have a relationship with the school, but we're not in the school and technically really aren't considered a school team.
Yeah, so do you want to expand on that? How strong do you think our relationship with the school actually is? Since you organize a lot of our stuff involving the school, considering that you make sure we get announced for our wins at competitions over the announcements every morning.
So I think our relationship with the school is a good one, even though it's not technically, like I said, a team sport. We are recognized, robotics is recognized by the CIAC as a varsity sport. As such, we do have some of the privileges of that. The thing is, most schools don't recognize us as a varsity sport. And since I have become the liaison on this team, I have been working with our athletic director and our principals tirelessly to get that recognition because these kids work very hard and our kids actually do have the possibility of earning a varsity letter like all the other varsity sports. And that is very rare in this robotics community.
Yeah. Do you want to expand on those efforts that you said you were working with the athletic director? Do you want to just expand a little more on that?
Sure. So since my time there as a liaison, we've had 2 different athletic directors. One just retired. He didn't really get the concept of robotics as a sport. No matter how many times I explained it to him, and that's fine because he's a very sports-minded person, and it can be a little confusing to most people.
Yeah.
Our new current athletic director, Bobby, is awesome and is completely and totally on board with us being recognized as a sport. He actually said, "How can I help you become recognized?" And I said, "We already are," and he said, "Perfect, what can I do to help?" So we are in the process of getting a banner put in the gym along with all the other... Really?
That's exciting.
We are in the process of getting a banner in the gym along with all the other varsity sports. In 2024, we are the Connecticut state champs. So we are going to put that on our banner, which is so cool.
That is really exciting because in our gym, we have banners covering the walls like top to bottom with all the sports get banners. And now that we're recognized as a team, I think that's great that we actually do get a banner. The real question is it going to be purple?
It is not going to be purple. It has to match the school colors because we are a varsity sport. So he's rearranging.
Yeah.
He's a newer athletic director to our system, not to the job. He has many years experience, so he knows what he's doing, and I completely and totally trust him. Because we want to be recognized as a sport, we must fit in like the sports. Now, Southington is a very sports-minded community, and that's why we have all those banners hanging from 1960-something through the current day. And we have a very strong sports program. I will like to say that our robotics team is the most
Honored, celebrated.
accomplished team
Yeah,
in the school,
I would say that's a good
especially
word
for the
for it.
amount of time that we've been around. This being our 27th year, I believe. So that's a pretty cool thing. So it's great to finally get that recognition for these kids that they so rightly deserve. They put a lot into it, just like any other sport.
Yeah, definitely. Why do you think that this connection between our school and robotics is important in general for other schools too?
Oh, it's very important. If you don't have the support of your school, your district, your superintendent, you're very limited in what you're able to do. There are some teams that, have a relationship with the school. They're in the school. They have a closet or they have a classroom. They have to pull things out and then put things back at the end of the day. We, like Chandra had mentioned, have this awesome facility, Mohawk Northeast, who's been a sponsor of ours for 15-something years, I believe. And it started off as a simple, hey, can you donate some money? And they said, hey, how about you take this space instead? And we said, holy cow, this is awesome. So we are very lucky and privileged to have this incredible space that we can pretty much come and go as we please. We're here all weekend. If you have a relationship where you're only in the school, you can't do that. You're there for school hours, or you're there immediately a couple hours after school, and then that's it. So we are lucky to have the accessibility to this awesome facility that we have. Other times, schools might be hesitant to let their teams go to other facilities, like to come visit us and use our practice field. We have a full-size practice field that we are incredibly lucky to have, that our parents and mentors build from scratch every year.
Which the signups are available on our website, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just to mention.
It's already open. That's great. I can't wait to see teams come in here because it's great to see other teams.
It's fun. I actually do.
It's a lot of
love
fun.
seeing teams here.
I look forward to it. So a lot of teams, or some teams, don't have that accessibility to come in and visit us. It's has to be a field trip form, which is not an easy thing to get, especially if you're not recognized as a team, a sport, and things like that. So we are very lucky that the school does recognize us enough that we are able to quite easily. I fill out the same forms every other athletic team fills out for field trips and for our sporting events, and we have never had a problem with it. We've been very lucky.
All right, next question. So Diana, you do a lot of work behind the scenes for our team. You make our team shirts, or you made them for the FTC teams, of course, and then you also manage our students. So can you expand on how you manage that all? Because like you said, you mentioned earlier, managing like field trip experiences, like that's a lot of work. So the whole point of our podcast is to give out advice. So I want to make sure we can help other mentors with managing those behind the scenes experiences.
It does sound like a lot of work, but when you love something, it's not work. Like,
yeah, 100%.
And as you said, my kids were graduates of this program. All three went through. My youngest one is a junior in college now, so she's been out for 3 years, and I cannot see myself leaving this team ever. I mean, it's such a great experience to see the new kids come in and grow. So I don't see this as work. Is it a lot to do sometimes? Absolutely. But I love doing it, So, so I just do it. Managing the shirts, I just love to craft too. So it's a perfect combination of me crafting and and helping out the team.
Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds, and I like to save money, so it's much cheaper for us to do it that way than to have them done professionally. And I think they look pretty darn good. Managing the students, I tend to need to be organized. I think anyone who does this has to be organized. And with all the stuff out there now, Google Sheets and Docs and everything else that you can share with everybody, it makes it so much easier. So at the beginning of the year, I put our whole roster in there by grade. Because we are a school team, not every team is a school team, I have their student ID number. So as I pass things for field trips, initially to the nurse, and then onto attendance so that they could get the proper acknowledgement for field trips. I have the student IDs on there, so it makes it easier for everybody involved. The school is very supportive in getting me those things because I am not a teacher. I don't have access to all of the students' records, but they are good about giving me the ones I do need for this to make my job easier because it makes their job easier in return. I think fostering a great relationship with the secretaries in the school is very, very important. The nurses in the school are very, very important because they're your allies in this, and everyone wants everyone to succeed. So if we all work together and do the best we can with everybody and are organized with everything, it makes it much easier in the long run.
Yeah.
So initially setting it up in the beginning of the year is a little difficult sometimes, but then I just keep adding on to the sheets, and it just makes it easier. And then it's all there. I can pull things up from years past and see how we did things, or verify stuff and things like that.
Like you mentioned, there are allies, so people like to see progress. They like to see wins. I know like half of my teachers in half of my classes, there's like 5 robotics kids, and like we'll all leave for like a competition, then we'll come back and it's like, whoa, God, like I heard you guys won on the announcements. Like it's a great accomplishment, and your school is definitely willing to help you, whether it's the nurses, the secretary, like you mentioned.
Yes, our principal also, Rich, is really awesome, and he's very supportive.
Yes,
A
he
principal
is.
we had 2 before him, Brian, who has retired now, and I believe he still follows us because he was such a huge supporter that he actually came to Worlds with us twice to be with the team, and he traveled with us and was there the entire week with us, and
Yeah.
was just amazed at what these kids do. And you see them in school, and you're like, oh yeah, you're a great student, you're awesome, you're an athlete, whatever. But then when you see what these kids accomplished by building this robot from scratch, from wiring it to programming it to seeing it on the final world stage against 800 plus other teams from around the world, like you're proud of that, and they love to show that off because it's not just like a typical sport like we've mentioned, but it's a sport of the mind, and that's just as important, if not more important. Every kid in this team is going to go professional, unlike the other teams.
Honestly, you're proud, and I love that.
I am. You
Yeah.
can't shut me up sometimes.
So let's dive into a little bit more about the students on our team. Since you've been a mentor on our team and a parent, you've been involved with the team for a very long time. So let's just talk about what growth you've seen in the students because of robotics.
All right, here's where I'm going to cry and I'm get emotional. The growth on some of these students, we had a student who has graduated from Colgate, I believe, and I can only imagine what she's doing now. She was so shy, she didn't utter a word. The team lead at the time, the lead mentor at the time, Sandra, tried so hard to get the other kids, who were very willing to, get them, hey, go ask her to come over and talk with you and sit with you. She was so shy that she couldn't do it. By her senior year was the year after COVID, so it was a hybrid year, so we didn't compete. We just did little interactions by the teams, but nothing on the grand scale like we normally do. There was one of the competitions was design a new game, from like game pieces to the rules to everything, and she was on that committee and ended up presenting it, which like she wouldn't even introduce herself to people. She was that shy. On that same note, we have another student who's still currently on the team and is a junior. Here's I get emotional. Emma. She's my niece. She wouldn't talk to me. We are a very close family. We do a lot together, which is incredibly awesome. But she was so shy, she had a hard time even talking to her aunts and uncles and her cousins and things like that. Being on this team and on the business team opened her up, and you have seen such growth that she ended up presenting for Impact on the world stage last year when our other presenter got sick. I just couldn't believe it. Like, from literally not wanting to say anything, even to her aunts and uncles and cousins, to presenting on the world stage for like this ridiculously prestigious award was like, I didn't care if we won. We didn't, but I didn't care if we won. The win for me was her doing that and seeing her, and now presenting like every week for our weekly meetings. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. You get these I think that's the biggest growth, is seeing these shy kids who come in and aren't really sure of themselves, and I'll try this. Someone said it was fun, or my friend's doing it, so I'll do it. And then to see them become leaders on this team, and then in college and in the professional world, is just utterly amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I would 100% agree, and I'd say that robotics provides a place for students to grow and apply skills that they've learned from school, because like almost all of the kids on our team are in Project Lead the Way, the mechanical program at our school. And yes, they're learning how to use the machines and design and use CAD at school, but like implementing it in a real world scenario where you have to build a robot that can shoot balls across a field, like that's where it's getting implemented. And then you learn about communication. You do presentations in school, but like, have you done it in front of a panel of judges talking about a robot? Like, I love seeing those skills from school be implemented in this real world situation.
Not all of our kids go into engineering. I mean, I had 3 kids go through this program. My son did go through electrical engineering. My second daughter did strategy, so data analysis. She went to school for finance as a physical trainer, a personal trainer now, and does do some finance also. My youngest daughter, who was our electrical lead, is in nursing. It doesn't matter what you want to, what your end game is. There's something for everybody on this team, whether it's business, and we have an incredible business department. Like,
Shout out business. My team.
It's amazing. We've had kids. I mean, and we're gonna have kids that follow this too. But we have kids who've gotten full rides to schools, and one of our alumni, Taylor, is working with the freaking Olympics. I don't know if I can say that. Is working with the Olympics now. I mean, that's because she started in robotics. Like that's incredible. I mean, we do have some incredible engineers. Some of them working for, I'm going to say Sikorsky, but it's not Sikorsky.
That's okay.
But like working for these worldwide companies that are building autonomous helicopters. Like, holy cow. I mean, our facility that we have here, these kids, if they do go into engineering, they're working on machines that most kids do not have the chance to get the ability to work on until they get real jobs. And these kids are doing it in high school. And not just for our team, but for teams worldwide. And it's such a minority worldwide, even though this is a huge program. Like, it's just amazing, just amazing.
It really is. Now, dry your tears, Diana, dry your tears. It is time for a little cyber side chat. Our cyber side chats are, I'm going to ask you a little question, which you don't know about, so you're going to have to think on the spot for it.
Sabotage.
Okay, so here's your question. What is your favorite competition meal? So, for example, at competitions, we usually buy pizza.
Not pizza.
It's not pizza. Sometimes we'll get Jersey Mike's. What is your favorite meal? And this could be even at the Houston or DCMP level where like there's restaurants. And I think Dunkin' used to be at DCMP. That's what people used to tell me. Yeah.
I'm not a coffee person. So Dunkin' and Starbucks, I could care less about. There's a restaurant in Houston, and Cheryl is going to be so mad that I don't know the name of it, but we've gone there for the last 2 years, and I get this shrimp poblano meal that I'm like, oh, it seems so weird. For 2 years in a row, I'm like, oh, this seems so weird. And then I cannot eat it fast enough. It is so good. Cheryl, who manages all of our travel for us within Connecticut for our buses and worldwide, when we go to Houston, when we used to go to Detroit, always finds the best food for us, no matter where we go. It's absolutely incredible. But I'm also down for a good grinder too. Tuna fish, of course.
Yeah.
No pizza.
I can't agree with you on either of those because I am allergic to fish, so I can't relate.
So sad.
And honestly, a good pizza goes a long way.
But there's so much pizza.
There's so much pizza, but it's like, it's good because we'll be at those competitions for like 100 years, right? And then I'll just be like starving, so I'll down like half a pizza.
Let me give a shout out to the parents on our team in regards to the food. So we have some incredible parents on this team that, because we're in the shop all Saturday, all Sunday, we have parents who volunteer to feed the entire team on a Saturday or a Sunday. We have a sign-up sheet, and we've had everything from Roger's baked potato bar to chili. And because of the diversity of our team, we have a veggie option, we have a chicken or turkey option, and we have a beef option. Like, these parents just aren't just like, hey, here's one meal. They gluten-free. They will do whatever needs to get done for these kids and mentors.
Options,
It is so awesome. I don't know when we've had pizza in this shop last, because parents are like, we don't want pizza. The kids don't want pizza. But it's like a 5-course 5-star meal every Saturday and every Sunday, and they go above and beyond. And we'll say, "Hey, cook for 30," and they come in with food for 60, so we're eating it like days later. I mean, every single meal has been incredible in this shop. Like
Yes,
everything.
weekend.
Yeah.
Every weekend, welcome to the Cyber Nights restaurant.
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely. And then the kids, the best part of that is the kids then sit on the field in a circle, and it's like family time, and they just chit chat and relax because it's stressful being on a team because of what you're working on and what you're doing. So to have that half hour or so of relaxation, usually a dessert included, these parents are awesome, is great. It's a great break for the kids and for the mentors. But I just love the family time circle for dinner. It just started spontaneously a few years ago, and it has been awesome ever since.
Yep, I'm definitely hungry now, so we're going to pause this conversation because we cannot eat in the middle of the podcast. So let's get back to talking about our school relationships. So what opportunities do you see in our school relationship? What do you think the robotics team can do to support the school, and vice versa? How do you think schools can support robotics teams further?
So the schools and the teams can support each other by just being there. I think if the schools start to recognize robotics as a sport, not even on the varsity level, because that can be hard for some schools, and especially smaller schools, and not every team is a school team. We do have a lot of homeschool teams. We have some 4-H teams, so obviously they're not going to have that relationship, and they don't really need it because they do it outside the school anyway. From our standpoint, I think our team is willing to do whatever it takes to have a relationship with them, whether it's like, hey, we have the pep rally coming up on this date. Can you be there? 100%. I want to bring up that robot there and showcase our seniors, our captains or our leads, and our robot, because a lot of these kids in the school, and we have a large school of over 2,000 students, hear about the team, but because it's not a regular sport where we're playing on the field or playing in the gym like basketball every 3 days, they don't get to see it. So the fact that when we bring that robot out on the pep rally, it's usually pretty amazing, and we usually get a really great support. So just doing activities like that, I think, are awesome.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. You did talk about lead mentors and administrators. I'm going to pick your brain a little bit. How can students get more involved in this relationship? How can they advocate for supporting robotics or vice versa?
Within the school?
Within the school, yes.
I don't know. A silly thing. So, like, I played sports as a kid, and a lot of us on the team have played sports. A lot of the students play other sports, too. We have tennis players, we have volleyball, we have...
girls golf.
Golf. Oh, yeah, that's a new sport, which is awesome. It was a club, now it's a sport, which is awesome. Yes. Track and field, which is awesome. We have someone swimming now on the boys' swim team, and they're doing incredible. But they usually wear their team jersey the day of a home meet, and we don't do that. And I'm wondering, why don't we do that? Like, why can't we incorporate? I'm literally just thinking of this now. Why can't we incorporate that? And then the more they see it, like, we have kids who wear their sweatshirts all the time.
Yeah.
But it's different than wearing your team jersey. Like, I don't know. Maybe we start incorporating something like that, so then kids can see, like, oh my God, you're on the robotics team? Tell me about it. Because as soon as they find out about the robotics team, they want to hear more because they don't know a lot about it. Like they see the golf shirts and the volleyball and the cheerleaders, and like, oh yeah, you're in the cheerleader, but they don't see the robotics as much. And I wonder if that's something we can and should incorporate. I think that's a great idea.
I do think that's a great idea, and I think we should incorporate it. I think the reason why we don't do it is because most of our competitions are during the weekends, and if they are during the weekdays, we're not even there.
Right, but we can wear it on Friday.
I do think that.
We can wear it on Friday or the day before.
I agree.
For DCMP, when it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we can wear it on Wednesday.
We have W&E coming up. I think we got to incorporate it. So I don't think any of these kids will mind because half of them wear their competition shirts to school. Just the other day, Simon.
Yeah, I did see that, yeah.
Sweatshirt and the competition
He wore
shirt.
a CKI shirt to gym class last week, or this week too, just so you know.
I wear my CKI shirt at home. Just wearing your team's merch in school automatically gives rep to your team. Like, your teachers will ask about it. When I wear this is girls golf, but when I wear my jersey to school because we have a game, teachers will ask me, like, oh, you're on the team, like, who are you up against, like, oh, how's it going, like,
how's your record, how you playing?
Exactly.
Right,
so if teachers see like 40 kids walking around in
My God, that's awesome.
walking around in 195 competition shirts, they're bound to ask.
Well, every Wednesday, we have weekly meetings every Wednesday here at our facility. And one is because I don't want to worry about what to wear or think about what to wear. But every Wednesday, I wear a robotics shirt or sweatshirt because now it's cold. And people are like, oh, okay, it's Wednesday, because they know I'm going to wear it on a Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
So it just makes it easy, but people know that. So yeah, the more we can get out there and do things. We have done drives, like 22 drives for the veterans and things like that. And we're out in the community doing other things, but it would be great to be able to do that more in the school too.
This is great.
writing
You
that
just
down.
segued right into another one of my questions. So, another question. Are there any community groups that you think teams can interact with that can help increase this relationship between the community and the school? Because, like you mentioned, we do drives, we help our local American Legion. You know, we do a lot of stuff, but how do you think other teams can get involved with their community more?
Well, I think they can reach out just like that. Every town has I think, has a veterans group. We have the Elks and we have the American Legion. Now we have Sergeant Major, who is a building sub at our school, at the high school, is a ranking member of the American Legions, I believe. And I reached out to him and like, hey, do you guys need help with anything? And he said, we have our Apple Harvest Parade. If anyone doesn't know about that, we have it the first 2 weekends of October, and it's totally incredible. And they have booths on our main street where they, downtown, where they literally close the streets down, and there's booths from everything from world famous apple fritters
Yes,
to
it is very fun.
so good, and to Frito taco pies or whatever. I don't eat them, but
A
Frito
lot of fried stuff.
a lot of fried stuff. But the
Fried
veteran,
Oreos.
the American Legions has their own booth, and I think for the last 5 or 6 years we have been setting it up for them and then taking it down. You know, unfortunately, a lot of our veterans are getting older and they need the help, and our kids love to interact with different generations. You know, I think our kids are just so used to it, they don't notice a difference. But I think the veterans reach out to me and are just beyond thrilled that our kids come and they're willing to do whatever it takes, climb on something to hang something up, or you know, bring a grill out, and they're there early on a Sunday morning. These kids like to sleep in, but they're there at 9 a.m., which is early for a high schooler. And they're there, and we usually get donuts or pizza out of it too, because they're so wonderful. Other things that we do is we have this Elder Nights program, which is incredibly awesome, where we go into some of our local facilities,
Let's just say community homes.
and we go in and we play Legos with them. It's been proven that using your hands and building with these Legos is incredibly beneficial to your cognitive skills. And that's something we all need. I'm not there yet, but I know that I like to play with Legos anyways. But it's such an important thing that unfortunately as we age, we do lose that. And it's important to keep that going, and to see these, again, high school kids who probably typically don't get to interact with senior citizens, interacting with them and playing Legos. And even if they don't have the physical ability to snap the Legos together, they'll say, pick the pink one, I like the pink one, and then put it with the green one, and they build these incredible things, and it's fun. It's unstructured fun, and then they talk about it for the rest of the week. Like, people reach out to me and say what a great experience it was, and they, when are you guys coming again? When are you coming again? When are you coming again? It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And then while you were talking, I just thought of another thing that our team does that other teams can implement. We at our high school, we do around the end of the year, we do a club fair, which demonstrates all of our clubs in our high school. So we'll have DECA, FBLA, you know, I can't think of any other clubs right now.
I think most of the sporting teams are
Oh,
there.
yeah, all of the sporting teams. We'll have like chess club, GSA, Chinese club, all of those clubs, and they
The
demonstrate
foreign language department, yeah.
Yeah, they demonstrate what they do in their club, and that's what we do too, because we bring our robot to the club fair and we kind of put it on display for kids to get interested. So in order to foster that relationship with your school, featuring your robot or just your team at your club fair is a great way. And that's also encouraging new members to come in, because most of the time the ones that come to those club fairs are current students looking for an extracurricular or 8th grade students that are
Becoming
going into
freshmen.
high school. Yes.
Absolutely. We also reach out to our 2 local middle schools,
Yes, we do.
DePaulo and Kennedy. We take our robot there with about, 10 or 12 kids to do a demonstration to show what our current robot does. We do it at the end of the year because we are looking for newer students as we sadly lose our seniors to graduation. It's great for them. It's sad for me. But we like to go to the schools, do a demonstration, and then it's the entire 8th grade is in the auditorium, and they get to ask any kind of question they want about the team. And we bring our leads so they know all they should be able to anticipate what the questions are and how to answer them properly. And we've gotten a lot of great applications from that. We also hold an open house here at Mohawk. We should do one in the late spring, towards the end of the school year, again for the same reason, to show kids what our club, and it's easier to come into. You can take a kid who wants to play soccer to the soccer field. We can't bring our facility to them, so they come to our facility and they can see that we do have a full-size practice field. They see our setup here is awesome. The machines that they're going to get to use if they do mechanical or build.
we do
and
a
things
full
like
tour
that.
for
We do a
them.
full tour. We also do it again in the fall for some kids who, incoming freshmen aren't really sure. Then they get to the high school and they're like, "Yeah, I want to do something." My friend mentioned this, and we hold it again. So we do it twice a year, and I think it's been very, very beneficial to our membership.
These are all initiatives that definitely strengthen your relationships with not just your high school that you're from, but also your middle schools, like you mentioned, and then your veterans community. So shout out to all my teams out there that are looking to expand their impact, but also strengthen their relationship with schools. Diana, I have 2 more questions for you. So, what do you want to see be done differently with the school? What do you want to see more of with our involvement in the school?
That's a tough question. Although we're not as recognized as the traditional sports, our principal, Rich, is really good about acknowledging our successes and our upcoming events so that we can it be publicized. It's tough because I think we do have a good relationship. I don't know how to. I work with a lot of teachers, and I don't know if this goes across the board to other schools, but I work with a lot of teachers, and because I'm a Talkalatsky and I can't stop talking about robotics once they bring it up, I give them the schedule. The day, on Saturday of the competition, I don't know how many texts I send out with our schedule and the link for them to watch it. And if it's a day where, like DCMP, where we're in school that Thursday and Friday, my teacher friends show it in their class on their smart boards. Even though there's no kids
Really?
there from robotics in their class, because I've talked about it and explained it, they show it to them. And then they come back, and when I get back there, they ask all these questions like, what happened here? Why did you get this penalty? Or why did this happen? And I'm like, but we do have our secretaries, they wear our team shirts for us when we're not there on competition day. They wear our team shirts on competition day, and they're watching it in the office. And I don't know if that's across the board, but I hope other schools do have that because it's awesome. It's awesome.
It really is. Okay, the final question. What is one last piece of advice or recommendations you would give to mentors, alumni, students that are really trying to get more involved in establishing their school and robotics team relationships?
I think you got to meet with the board. I guess I haven't mentioned yet that our Board of Ed is very, very, very supportive of us. We have a member, Colleen, who comes onto the bus when we're leaving for Worlds.
I love her.
And gives us a cheer and the best pep talk ever. Like, I think it's been 4 years in a row that she has given that pep talk to us. So just going out there, like a couple of years ago, myself and 2 other mentors, Pat and Stacy, we started attending all the Board of Ed meetings because it's important to our team. Budget's important to everything, including robotics. And they started to recognize us. Of course, I wear my swag, of course. And they start to recognize us. So after the meetings, I want to talk and say, hey, what's going on with the robot this year? Can I come to the facility, come down and see what we're doing, see our robot, see your kids that go to this school in work, or in action, seeing them do that. And that fosters excitement for them, for our superintendent, and it trickles down. We have many teams in our elementary schools, but we can't have enough. We're still trying to get more. So we're trying to get.
100%.
So I would love to see more funding, which is, they are very supportive and we do get some great funding from them. But I would love to see more funding so that we could get a stipend for our elementary school teachers to do this, because it's a long day working with 25, 30 kids every day, and then staying after, and they're excited to play with Legos for the first, for FLL. So I guess that I would love to try to strengthen it to get more funding, to get it to go down to the elementary level, so we can build our program from there up.
That's great. Thank you so much, Diana, for joining us today. It is now, unfortunately, time to end the episode, but I'm going to let our audience listen to my wonderful voice for just a little bit longer by saying that you should check out our social media. We are at FRC Team 195 on Instagram, FRC Team 195, the Cyber Knights on Facebook, and our website, team195.com. And if you have any questions, comments, or want to be featured on the podcast, just email us at our email, business@team195.com. I'm Chandra, your host, and thank you for listening to this episode of Night Chat First on Air. See you next episode.